Okay, welcome to the Dublin Academy of Maths. Now today we're on Leaving Cert Ordinary Maths and it's Series 2, Episode 5, and we're dealing with Paper 1. On Paper 1 there's functions, questions 6, 8 and 3, parts of. We're dealing with composite functions and functions of substitution. Okay, now this is, well anyway, we'll just look at these questions and then I'll go down to show you a demonstration. So show that x is equal to 2 as the root of that. Now you know how to do this. You divide in the factor, find the other roots by dividing in. Form the equation whose roots are. Well, if these are the roots, bring them back and find the factors and multiply them all out. One bracket by another bracket, then by the third bracket. Okay. 2009 paper 1 question 2c. F of x is equal to this. Verify that f of minus 2 is equal to 0. Put in minus 2 for x, and if it equals to 0, it's true. In other words, it's a value of it. It's a root. And then solve the equation. In other words, find the other roots. Okay. Now this is also important. I'm going to move this over a bit. Now this is 2003 question 6 paper 1. Let g of x is equal to 2x over 3 minus 1. Find x for which g of x is equal to 5. Okay. So you make this equal to 5 and then you solve it. Okay, now this is a solution. You will find out a solution. Okay, I'll explain them in more detail, but these are to do with lines or where on the graph will y equal to 5. Okay, anyway, we'll get back to it. 28. This is very important. Okay, this describes everything really what you will need in this part of functions. Fx equal to that, g of x equal to that. Fg of a third says, I'm going to show you how to do this. Put a third in for g of x, and whatever you get, you put the answer in to f of x. And it's the same vice versa. Gf of minus 2. Minus 2 in for f of x. The answer you get out, you put it back into 3. You put in for x here, into g. And it says part 3, it says calculate when f of x is equal to g of x. So you make that equal to that and see if you can solve it. It's a quadratic equation. Now remember, we did quadratic equations in episode 4, and we also did it in series 1, all about quadratic equations. Now it says calculate where we this is f of g of x. That means you put g in for x for f of x, and whenever you get it, you do the opposite. You put f of x into g of x. So it really is trying to get you to work on these questions, but this is very important. Now remember, practice, no fear, and the Gmail is dublinacademy@gmail.com. Now I'm going to show you how to do a couple of questions now. So we have a question come up and it says let f of x equal to, right, let f of x equal to x squared plus ax plus t, and it says where a and t are an element of R, rational number, a real number. Okay, now it says 1, find the value of a. Now I'm writing this out because this is what you're going to get given that f of minus 5 is equal to f of minus 1. Okay, right, so in that case it's an equation. We have to put in minus 5 into fx, and then we make it equal to minus 1 putting in for it. So x squared plus ax. Minus 5 for x squared. So you see what I'm doing? I'm using this again. Plus a times x minus 5 plus t is equal to, now f of minus 1, again we put in minus 1 to be squared plus a times minus 1 plus t. Okay, we multiply them out. Minus 5 to be squared is 25. A by minus 5 is minus 5a plus t is equal to minus 1 to be squared, 1 minus a plus t. Now we bring them all to the left hand side. So you've got, and we bring the numbers over so we can get a value. So minus 5a, bring the minus a over, plus a, plus t, bring the t over, becomes minus t, is equal to 1, bring the 25 over, it becomes minus 25. Okay, so you got minus 5a plus a is minus 4a. You got t minus t, well, that cancels, okay, is equal to minus 24. A is equal to minus 24 divided by minus 4. Minus into minus is a plus. 4 into 24 goes 6 times. A is equal to 6. Okay? So you put that out there, and that's your answer for that part. And it says, come on now, we move this out. So the main thing here is that you're working with them and you're watching your signs. And it says part 2, it says, given that there's only one value for, given that there is only one value for x for which f of x is equal to 0. Find the value of t. Find the value of t. Find the value of t. Now, you just go ahead with it, okay? So given that there's only one value of x for which fx equals 0, so we already have fx up here, so we rewrite it x squared plus 6x plus t. Now, it's very tricky here. It says, given that there's only one value for x for which, so there's only one value for x, right? So if I was to factor out this quadratic, it was to go ahead normally. Now, faced with these problems, you have to go ahead normally and try and work something out here. Something might drop, okay? The trick is the clue is in the question. One value. Now, what value will add it to give me the coefficient in the middle term? Do you understand? What by what will add to give me the coefficient of the middle term? So it's the factors of 9. 3 by 3 is equal to 9, which add them is equal to 6. It's the only possible factors. Do you follow? So therefore t is equal to 9. Do you get that? I'll read it right down. X was 6x plus 9. So you factorize x by x. What's the factors of 9 when added to give me plus? Well, we know the factors of 9. You can have minuses, but we're only interested in the coefficient, which is plus. So it's plus 3 by 3, and it's 1 by 9, but the only one that will give me 6 is the 3. Okay? And it's said in the question that there's only one value for x. Okay? And therefore x is equal to minus 3. Right? Okay, the last episode I left factors, I forgot to say, but you have to solve those factors. You know, sometimes I leave the questions and I don't finish them, but really that's up to you now. If I don't finish them, you finish them for me. Okay, that's good. T is equal to 9. Now I'm going to show you the composite functions. Composite functions are, you know, the whole thing is to really follow your signs and make sure that you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. Now this is question 8. Question 8, and it's okay. F of x is equal to 2x minus 1, and g of x is equal to x squared plus 2. Now it says find fg minus 2. Now we had one of these questions before. So find this value. So now what I have to do is I have to put minus 2 into g, and whatever answer I get I must put it into f. So we'll try that. G of minus 2, so g of minus 2 is equal to minus 2 squared plus 2. Minus 2 squared is 4 plus 2 is 6. And then I put it into f of x. Okay, you follow this? So f of 6 is equal to 2 times 6 minus 1 is equal to 12 minus 1 is equal to 11. Okay? Right? Now you see what I did there again. So finding these composite functions, you put in the g first, and then whatever answer you get, put in the minus 2 in here. Whatever answer I got 6, and when I put the 6 in for the f, I found it was equal to 11. Now this is related to some sort of other function going on. Okay, there could be another function going on here. Okay, that's a quadratic function, and it's a straight line actually, 2x minus 1. So it could be going something like that. That could be the 2x minus 1. Right? And where one equals to the other, it means that where they intersect. Okay? Right? You get that? So where they intersect is the point of equal, where one function is equal to another. So that would be the function where f of x is equal to g of x. Alright, and you'd be able to find it on the graph, but you can we do it through solutions, through working it out. Okay, so let's moving on to this part. Now it says part 2, g f of a half. Alright, so now I have to put in f of a half first. Okay, so f of a half is equal to 2 times a half minus 1, which is equal to 2 times the top by the top, the bottom by the bottom. So that's 2 over 2, which is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, and then I put the answer 0 into g of x. Okay, so g of x is x squared plus 2. I'll just rewrite that down again, x squared plus 2. And I put the 0 in, okay, to g, because that's what it says here. I'm going in this direction. Okay, so I put g of 0 is equal to x squared plus 2. Put in 0. 0 squared plus 2 is equal to 2. So that's your answer there. G of x is equal to 2. G f of a half is equal to 2. Or it's either written g after f of a half. Okay? So that's 2. And now the next part. It said part 3, fg of x. What's fg of x equal to? Well, that means that you put g of x into f. Okay? Put it into f. So g of x is that, so fg of x is equal to 2 times, I'm bringing this down, you see it, and I'm putting in x, which is g of x, x squared plus 2 minus 1. Okay, I'm just following the rule. Okay, so I'm putting g of x into f of x. That's called f after g of x. Right, and I just multiply it out. 2x squared plus 4 minus 1, which is equal to 2x squared plus 3. Okay, next one it says the reverse again, gf of x. Okay, so this time you're putting f of x into g. Alright, so g of x is x squared there, which is equal to, or I'll put the arrow here. Try and get used to this arrow now. So I'm putting f of x into g of x. Okay, so f of x is 2x minus 1. So I'm putting in, actually, this is what I'm putting in, 2x minus 1, if you can see that. Okay, so it's f of x, which is the same as 2x minus 1. So it's 2x minus 1 all to be squared plus 2. Now 2x minus 1 all to be squared is the same as 2x minus 1 by 2x minus 1 plus 2. So you're multiplying the first by all of this. This will have been explained in algebra in series 1. Okay, so you multiply them out and you have 2x by 2x minus 1 minus 1 by 2x minus 1 plus 2. 2 by 2 is 4, x by x is x squared, plus by a minus is a minus, 2x minus 2x, minus by a minus is a plus 1, plus 2. So you're left with 4x squared minus 4x plus 2, and it's a quadratic. Okay? Oh, plus 3. 1 and 2 is 3. And, no, I can't solve it. Well, I probably could have used the formula. Remember the formula now. X is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's a, that's b, and that's c. Solve that for me and see if it probably will solve out if using this anyway. It should do. So they will give you the roots. Okay, that seems to be everything. Okay, that was very good. Next we'll be going on to, we'll continue on with functions. As you know, it's 3 questions and it's quite a good subject to get to know. Anyway, good luck and do those questions.